Hi, this is episode 13 of Clobbering Time with Craig, and I've got Chris back with me, the one-armed band. As you can just about see, you'll be able to see his face. He's got the blue thing on, the old boy. Right, basically this week we're going to talk about something I was talking about on my Facebook wrestling group. Was about people's dream Survivor Series style matches, and we're also going to talk about the announcement of the TNA Fan Interaction, which was announced last night, as well as some of the wrestlers that have been announced so far for the tour. Also going to talk briefly about basically about WrestleMania 32, I think it's 2016. Something I saw yesterday about that, as well as briefly about the Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan feud, as well as the film Comic-Con that we're going to next month, and briefly about AJ's little pipe bomb from last week. So first we're going to start with the Survivor Series dream matches. Chris Fink said Austin, Hogan, Jericho and Taker and Kurt Angle against Ric Flair, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk and Sting. You said Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt and The Shield against Punk, Orton, Cena, Taker and Dolph. Chris Hill said Brett, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan and Mr. Perfect against Hulk Hogan, Austin, Taker, Triple H and Macho Man. And one I thought of earlier on was, I don't think I actually only did one side of the team. It was Ultimate Warrior, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle and Undertaker. I'll go for, let's see, versus Undertaker, Macho Man, let me think. Hulk Hogan, I really should have wrote this down earlier. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and let's say Sting. That'd be quite good. Yeah, but you said there was one other match you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I think The Rock, Austin, Triple H, and The Rock, Austin, Triple H, HBK versus CM Punk, Orton, Cena and Ziggler. Definitely think that'd be
Okay. Yeah, basically, if any of you got any ideas for dream match, Survivor Series style matches that you'd love to see, you can be obviously from past, present, mixed together. Yeah, just leave your comments at the bottom of when it's uploaded, basically. Next was yesterday they announced TNA Fan Interaction on their Facebook page, which is basically they've said that there's going to be 8 wrestlers there. It's going to be all the shows that are basically doing a tour. There's going to be 8 wrestlers there, which obviously you won't find out who they are until they actually turn up on the day, as always. You'll be able to get signs up to two things, maximum of 2 things signed, which is better than normal. Normally it's just 1. This time they're allowing 2. The tickets go on sale on Friday at 9 AM, and outside of London, the venues outside of London are £32.50 plus whatever their postage is, and in London they're charging a bit more, £35. Cheeky barks, charging us more just because we live in London. Yeah, basically you won't find out until the day while you're in the queue who it is, so it does make it a bit awkward to taking signed stuff with you. You just have to take the gamble and also probably buy the programme as the best bet, really, because you just don't have a clue who's going to be there. And they also announced some of the wrestlers that are going to be on the tour. So far they've said Bully Ray, Magnus, Robert Roode, Samoa Joe, Chris Sabin, Austin Aries, mine and your favourite, Manic, aka Suicide, James Storm, Gunner, and Gal Kim is all they've announced so far. But I would imagine obviously there'll be a lot more than that to come. That's just the first lot to be announced. What's that? Oh, they won't be able to afford to bring the UFC lot over, like Rampage and all that. It'd be too expensive for them. With a bit of luck, they'll be gone by then, because they'll have had their little match, and they'll probably be gone by then. The only danger is, when you watch like Impact last night, I'm not sure the Ace is going to still be a team by the time it comes to our tour.
Yeah, because it looked like Mr. Anderson and Bully are starting to argue, isn't they?
It looked like Bully's just looks like he's starting to turn his back on the whole team and he's only interested in having Tito in his corner, really, by the looks of it. He's kind of just pushing them aside, and you can see it coming. It'll be just Bully, Tessmacher, and Tito Ortiz, which is just a waste. But yeah, I get because they're going to have next week. Bully's got to fight Sting, and then the week after that he's got to fight an Aces member, and I get the feeling that'll be Anderson.
Yeah.
And I know Anderson's contract's coming up soon, so it'd be interesting to see if they do some sort of angle where he basically gets beat up behind the Aces and they take him out if he doesn't re-sign. That reminds me, did you watch Impact last night?
I didn't watch all of it, but I watched glimpses of it.
Did you see AJ's promo?
Yeah.
He mentions his own name, didn't he? Alan.
Yeah, but I would have kept him as the lone, like the Dark Angel thing. That's what I would have kept him as lone as sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way his promo started, where he was having a pop at Dixie, the way everything's been done and all that, the way he's been treated. But then he went kind of soft on it and said he likes being the go-to guy and all that, and it kind of, he should have kept going along with it, done a bit of a pipe bomb, but he never fully went through with it, which was a shame. So I'm sure there's many people who like to do a little pipe bomb speech on Dixie Carter at the moment. Yeah, the other thing was basically last night on a WrestleMania post on Facebook, I saw that basically Detroit have been rejected, their bids have been rejected for WrestleMania 32 in 2016. And the favourites for that one so far are between Dallas and Orlando. And I know next year's favourites is looking like it's going to be Philadelphia at the moment, or not next year, year after, for WrestleMania 31. Looks like it's going to be Philadelphia. But I'd imagine they won't announce that until December, January time, I would imagine. That's normally around the time they announce that sort of thing. Right, next, the Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan feud. I'm really enjoying it, because the whole thing with like Triple H and all that and Randy basically reminds me of the whole, it's like I think it's The Rock versus Mankind all over again sort of thing.
Because the underdog, innit?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't expect Daniel Bryan to win the belt back at Night Champion. I expect him to
Nah. I know there was some talks of Ryback winning it in a couple of months' time and being like the first one to hold both titles.
Wow.
But I don't like the idea of someone holding both titles unless they're going to put the two titles together. I don't like the idea of that. I do like his gimmick at the moment, Ryback, but I don't really think he should be doing that. But yeah, the Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan feud, I'm definitely enjoying that. And hopefully it'll go on. Well, as I said before, I'm hoping after this they'll kind of have a step back a little bit from Randy and Daniel and then start to build it again after Rumble, where say Daniel Bryan wins a Rumble, and then they start it all over again, and then Daniel Bryan ends up beating Randy at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but do you think someone's going to try and help Daniel Bryan?
I think Vince will probably end up being in his corner.
But have you noticed the Shield are sort of Triple H's henchmen, isn't they?
Yeah, but it's like an APA sort of role, but obviously the APA were good, weren't they, back then?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to remember these henchmen back in the day. It's probably the Outlaws, really, something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is good to watch. There was, as I was talking to you about the other day, there was a speculation at the finale of the Total Divas being where one of them would end up taking the Divas title at Night of Champions from AJ.
It'd be Natty.
Yeah, if it's, I'll only be fine with it if it's Natalya, because really it makes no sense for Bella to fight her. Alright, there's the comment she made with the pipe bomb, but it would be baddie versus baddies, which never works, I don't think. It's like having a face versus face. It doesn't work. Literally, you saw in New Jersey with Randy Orton and Sheamus. It just goes flat. And with Naomi, I'm not sure they'll do it, because after watching that Total Divas, when they showed her in singles, it went a bit flat for her because she's not had enough singles matches to be in that position yet. So, and it certainly can't be Cameron because she just can't wrestle full stop. So the only one of really it should be is Natalia. Anyone else, it'll just look stupid, and it won't. It'll make.
I personally think it's going to be Natalia.
Yeah, because anyone else, and it's going to make AJ look weak, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she's not had the belt that long. So if they do it, hopefully it's Natalia, because she's the one that deserves it out of the lot.
I just hope if they do this, that Caitlyn isn't pushed aside.
No, I don't think she will be. It's just you can't have AJ versus Caitlyn all the time, can you? I kind of wouldn't mind them holding them two off till WrestleMania as well, so you had Caitlyn versus AJ. And then Caitlyn gets it back then. Yeah, well, triple threat you could have at WrestleMania. AJ, Caitlyn and Layla. Obviously it's too soon off to... Who's to say they're even going to have a divas match at WrestleMania the way it's been. Oh, God, yeah. Some daft dance off, wasn't it, yeah. The other thing is, last week we got tickets for the film and comic festival, which is in next month. I think it's the 4th of October at Earls Court. We've got the early bird tickets we've got for that, so there's no hassle to queuing beforehand and all that. And we've already got our tickets for some of the wrestlers that we'll be meeting. We've got tickets for Maurice and Chavo. But there's also, who you can meet is Kelly, and also Hernandez will be there. I'm probably going to get the Hernandez ones towards the end of September if these still available. But I'm not going to bother with the Kelly ticket because I've met her a few times before, and you know it's £15 per appearance, so you know it all adds up after a while, doesn't it? But yeah, it'll be the first convention of those that I've been to, so I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, it will be good because I've never been to it, so I want to see what it's like.
I've never met Chavo either, so you know.
So yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah, I've never met Chavo before, so I get to meet him, and I've met Maurice.
Well, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean I've met Maurice before, but I never complain about meeting Maurice again. But yeah, we'll probably get tickets for Hernandez as well closer to the time, just because we've never met him. But yeah, it should be good overall. I'm not bothered about any of the actors because it's not really... Meeting someone from Power Rangers doesn't exactly excite me.
The only way I'd be happy if it was an actress, if it was someone like Sarah or someone like that.
It was someone who?
Sarah Underwood.
Sarah Underwood.
She always does it as well. She was there on time to her.
Who's Sarah Underwood?
She's like an American presenter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should be good. It'll be the first time of doing that. So yeah, now the AJ pipe bomb last week, where she basically mocked the entire division. Mostly it was Natalia and the Bellas that got the brunt of it, weren't it? Where I mean, she basically said to Natalia that Tyson's not much of a man, which was a bit below the belt. I don't know if have you seen Total Divas recently?
Yeah, I'm on episode 4. So.
There was I think it was episode 4. Is that the one where Natalia and Tyson are arguing?
Yeah, because she wants the wedding, but he doesn't sort of want it.
Yeah, and all the trouble with their his mother and all that. Yeah, it's good though, Total Divas. I've enjoyed it. Although you don't know how much of it is actually genuine, because it's not all of it's reality as they try to make out it is. But I bet they'll do a second one with the likes of Layla, Rosa, and Alicia Fox, people like that.
I think they'll do another one as well with maybe Paige and Emma as well. So they have got quite a good way of going.
Yeah, possibly with Paige because of her road to here and all that. Yeah. I'm not sure about Emma yet because it's still a bit early for her, but yeah. Did you want to talk at all about your experience in LA, since you wasn't on the show the other week to talk about it?
Yeah, I had an awesome time. Obviously, met our
She's like, no, take it off, I want that one. So it's like, I think if you hadn't, she'd have just pulled it off you anyway.
Yeah, so literally, I couldn't say no. She literally just basically just made me take it off. And yeah, the crowd of actors basically saw the shock of their lives. So my own chest.
I thought mine was hairy, blimey.
We were queuing up, and primetime players, they sort of become friends. I'd call them friends now, Craig, to be honest with you, because they sort of.
Would they recognise us every time we saw them, you know, whether it was at Access or at the hotel? I mean, Titus came over to us at the hotel and gave us a hug, so, you know, they know us. And when we mentioned it on Twitter, they said they're our friends, so, you know.
Yeah, so I would probably say that. And so, yeah, they pulled us up the queue. So me and Craig and Karen got a nice picture and taken off time. Another thing that I'd like to mention is the sort of Stephanie. I overly went a bit mad over it.
Somewhat, yeah.
I just thought we were going to
I think you forgot we was in a posh hotel there, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought he was going to miss his opportunities.
You turned into a bit of a Del Boy at the Ritz sort of thing, didn't you?
I did. But luckily we got over there. And yeah, I thought we met quite a lot of wrestlers, to be honest with you. The one I was disappointed with was Ray.
Yeah. Well, he was there on the Saturday evening at the same time as AJ, and we was queuing for Randy at the time, so we kind of got screwed in that, and we didn't even know he was there until afterwards. There was no one said anything about him being there, and you don't get any announcement of schedules or where they are.
And obviously I missed out on AJ. I met AJ at WrestleMania, but I missed out on AJ because apparently she was doing a signing, but also people were waiting for her Bailey thing, you know, where it was. She come over apparently and posed with everyone.
Oh yeah, some of them were doing that as it went along, weren't they? As they were leaving, yeah.
If I was there, I would have been in my element.
Well, we didn't even know she was there until we were having that meal with Jess and her friends, and someone asked you if you saw AJ, and was like, didn't know she was there. Because W changed their schedule so much that weekend for who was going to be there, it completely threw you out of sync. And of course, they didn't do any text messages, so you didn't have a clue when anyone's going to be there. And sometimes wrestlers tweet you saying they're going to be there, and they never actually were there. And it just left you to, like with Rob Van Dam, we just had to take the risk of a queue of basically of what staff said he'd heard it was going to be Rob Van Dam, and just take the risk.
Yeah, and obviously I met the Shield, which I think was I was a bit disappointed because I thought they should have been going behind their desk.
Yeah, you had to stand right on the edge of this table, and I noticed some of them when they taking photos, you could just about see their head in the picture. It was like they'd superimposed their heads like that into the bloody thing.
Yeah, and also I called out to Xavier, and obviously he recognised us from last year, and he got us a last minute picture with him.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome.
I thought though, what was funny with that, was it you when you was on the stage with the Shield, or was it Karen, when someone off the stage swore really loudly and they heard it?
I think it was Karen.
Yeah, because suddenly some girl off the stage, I don't know who she was talking to, all of a sudden I heard F you really loudly. Well, obviously I'm being PG with it, but yeah. And Roland's heard it and went, whoa, all of them went, whoa, and then he shouted F you back sort of thing, wasn't it? Which is really funny.
I will obviously say my whole experience of SummerSlam was awesome. Loved it, brilliant. It was a bit too hot for me.
Yeah, LA is hot.
I'd rather that than rain.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely going to try and do another SummerSlam in the future.
Yeah.
I'll do another one.
Yeah, maybe in a few years, because at some point I want to do Bound for Glory, because I've heard their fan interactions are way better than when they come over to here. You can talk to them, you can get a photo with all of them, you can get as many signatures as you want. It's so much better than, unlike here, it's like no photos, signature, in other words, hurry up and go away sort of thing with the staff here, isn't it?
And obviously I'm hoping to be, I'm going to go WrestleMania, I don't care.
Oh yeah.
Try and stop me, I'm going anyway. So
Yeah, WrestleMania is going to be good. There's going to be quite a few of us going to that. And yeah, it's going to get to meet a lot of our friends on Twitter as well.
yeah,
And literally everyone I know seems to be going to it. It's great.
yeah.
Should be good.
So yeah, that's it really. So that's,
I tell you though, if the wrestlers end up staying in the same hotel as me, you're going to be devastated, aren't you?
I'm sneak in.
You know how hard it is with WrestleMania to do. They're quite tight with that.
I'll pretend I'm joined to the hip with you, innit? That's not how
He's my
so we can't separate.
Yeah. Can you imagine? We're in the bar area and we've got AJ with us having a drink, and I can just imagine you now peering through the door, watching, crying. Well, I'll try, but I won't do it to the point where I'll get thrown out and I'm out on the bloody streets all the rest of the WrestleMania. They're actually, I know, because they're in our hotel in Miami, they were really tight with, every time we went to go towards the lifts, they would ask you for a door. And when I was with X-Pac, she even asked X-Pac for his card. It's like, she obviously don't know anything about wrestling. She's like, how many times I've got to show you this card? Yeah, we never know. Depends how tight security is, but that's if they even stay in a hotel, you just don't know.
I personally think you'll bump into them on the streets anyway, because, it's not going to be hard.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
They like to walk around and like that, so.
Yeah, basically next week, if there's any matches announced for Night of Champions, we'll start talking about the build-up to that, if there's any announced. Otherwise, we'll just talk about whatever's comes up in the news and any big things that happened on Raw, SmackDown, NXT and so on.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically all I think of for now. I don't want to do the show too long anyway.
Hopefully I'll be able to fit out this slip by the time we do the show.
Yeah. Instead of three-man bands, you're the one-arm band, aren't you? One-hand band! If you've noticed, I keep looking up, by the way, it's because we got the Sky Sports News on, and I keep looking to see if we've signed Ozzy all that, so... I'm kind of getting distracted by that. Oh, he's been having a medical for about the past 3-4 hours, it's ridiculous. Who takes that long? Is he doing a marathon or something? Jesus.
Gareth Bale just went to Real Madrid and done his medical in 11 minutes, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, they were going to sign him whether he's failed the medical or not anyway, so... Anyway, this is a wrestling show, I'm not going to talk about football anymore, so... Anyway, we'll see you next week for episode 14 of Clobbering Time with Craig. Hope you enjoy the show. If you've any suggestions for future shows or anything, just leave your comments at the bottom of the upload. Anyway, speak to you next week. Bye.